常高兴今天到海大，然后跟你们谈一下我们两个大学的那个 administration，给你们设计了一个非常好的项目。实际上我们有两个项目，一个是 undergraduate， 一个是 graduate。虽然我会讲一点中文，因为那个项目是在美国，我们就看你们的听力怎么样所以我用英文讲一下。如果有些不太听懂，我那些 presentation 录像在这里，所以让我可以看，拿到一个 copy。OK， 所以我第二个原因，我中文也不是母语，所以我英文还是比中文好。实际上英文也不是我的母语，我母语是俄语，我实际上是俄罗斯人。所以年轻的时候像你们一样，我到国外去实习，现在我是代表美国的大学，给你们提供跟美国一样的那个机会。So I'm a good example.
Very nice. Very nice.
Living example. Okay. 然后就在你们不 how you say don't show off with my Chinese, so we'll start in English. A little bit, maybe a preview and additional sales pitch for why it's important for you to go to the United States. You all heard 2 days ago the news that TSMC is investing $100 billion, right, in the construction of 5 centers in the US, 3 new fabs, research center, and advanced packaging center for semiconductors. It's not because of Donald Trump. You think about TSMC produces 90% of global most advanced chips, most advanced semiconductor. They control the world pretty much. They will not be putting so much money in the United States in the future because of one person. They can survive. In 4 years, Trump will not be president, right? So they can survive that. They do that because of the strategic reasons. They understand that the biggest market is in the United States. The most advanced progress in materials and AI and access to finance, to money, is in the United States. So Taiwan now also in the forefront of the semiconductor technology and also charging very fast in AI. So combining those two, big market, money, advanced research, a lot of unicorn companies, a lot of big startups in Silicon Valley, this knowledge that you receive in Taiwan and your technology that you learn in your university would be very good for you. It would be very good for you personally, but it also would be very good for Taiwan for the future. Because right now you enjoy a very comfortable life. I come and visit many universities. So this time when I came, I visited 北科大、中兴大学、丰甲、高雄科技大学，然后明治科技大学、原治大学。So several universities, and students hesitant to go because life is very comfortable here. So there is a very good saying that difficult times create strong people. So when your grandparents came to Taiwan, mostly from mainland China, right? And your parents worked, and your grandparents, they worked very hard because times were difficult. And difficult times create strong people. Strong people create good times. So they create good times for you. And then good times make weak people because you don't have many obstacles to overcome. You have 7-Eleven on every corner, everything is on your phone, you press the button, you can receive the knowledge, you can operate without even understanding the map, right? So that is not your fault. But unfortunately, weak people create bad times. So we don't want you to create bad times for your future, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your country also. So that's why we create opportunity for you to challenge yourself a little more, so you become stronger. Because as you know, the carbon, if it's in a softer state, it's just a lump of coal, just black coal, very soft. But if you compress it under tremendous pressure, it changes the structure and becomes a diamond. It's the same carbon. So we want you to shine, right? We want you to be a diamond. So we'll talk about that, what the opportunities are in the University of Cincinnati. So who knows where University of Cincinnati is, which state? Do you know what state? Ohio. Ohio. It's not Ohio gozaimasu. It's not it's just state of Ohio. It's in the center of the US. So the border, Cincinnati is in the southwest corner. So when you arrive to Cincinnati, you actually arrive to northern Kentucky, Kentucky, and then you drive 10 minutes to Indiana. So there is a skiing resort in Indiana that is actually still open. It usually opens 3 months a year, so you can go skiing there or snowboarding. It's not tall mountains, but it's okay. Maybe 300 meters per little go. So you can see that. And so Cincinnati, state of Ohio, in the center of the United States and center of manufacturing also. So 100 years ago, 120 years ago, there was a lot of manufacturing around the United States, around Cincinnati, in the state of Ohio, and in Indiana. And that required a lot of engineers. So immigrants in Cincinnati, as you know, America is a country of immigrants. So immigrants in Cincinnati were predominantly from Germany. So it was a very German-influenced city at that time. And the dean of College of Engineering was German. And in Germany, there is a very interesting educational system that's called apprenticeship. So students learn, and then they do practical work. So they combine learning with practical application all the time. So that's a very well-known German system. So when industry came to the dean and said, we need engineers, he said, it takes 4 years to prepare an engineer, but I can loan you an engineer while he still studies. So that is how the co-op system of education was created. So we are founders of the co-op system. In 1906, 1906年，我们设计了那个系统，学生是一边学习一边实习。So one semester study, one semester work. So our students, it requires them 5 years to get their bachelor because they have 5 rotations in industry. So they work 5 times semester each. So 一个学期4个月这样做。So 4个月乘5次 they rotate in the industry and they come back to school and go work again. Because of that, what we teach is very related to real life, to what companies need. And we have connections with probably 3,000 companies globally. Right? And because of that, when you come to the University of Cincinnati, you'll have a very strong opportunity for internship. Right? 75% of international graduate students find internships because all companies know the University of Cincinnati. So we have a lot of good systems there. So I will show you a quick video. Let's see.
Opportunity doesn't have a chance to knock when you open your own doors. And to own the unknown on the other side, you have to unleash a vision. A relentless, disruptive vision of next. Next, heard in the original score that moves hearts and minds. Next, found in the prototype that breaks every mold. Next, felt in the cure just around the corner. Next, multiplied by the power of inclusion. Where can you find next? Try the destination for the determined. Ground zero for the groundbreaking. A place where there and beyond is actually here and now. Welcome to Next.
This is our motto. Because the video was embedded from YouTube, so it's switched on video. So next lives here is our motto. So 未来住在这里。So 未来开始在 University of Cincinnati, which means that our main focus in what we do is on students. So we operate on 3 pillars. One is students, second is teachers, and third is community. So we try to put a lot of attention to what we do for you, because we understand that university very challenging job is to prepare the leaders for tomorrow, for something that we cannot see, right? So what will be needed 5-10 years from now? So we need to educate you to participate in the future and help us to design that future, right? So there are several accolades that the University of Cincinnati has. So first of all, we are very comprehensive university, 综合性的大学. So we have pretty much everything you can think of except for marine biology and naval engineering.
Agriculture.
No agriculture.
Aqua.
Aquaculture, not really, because we're in the center of the land.
I see a lake there.
Really?
Let's do Chicago.
Okay.
We should do that.
Yes. So of course we have aerospace engineering, because in Cincinnati there is GE Aviation, and actually there is a lot of similarities in some areas between naval engineering and aerospace engineering. So I will also talk a little after that presentation about the opportunity how mechanical, electrical, and probably naval engineers, if they're interested, can switch into aerospace in 1 year by spending 1 semester in France and 1 semester at the University of Bordeaux, and it's open for students who are undergraduate, finishing now, or maybe first year graduate. So co-op and internships, that's what I mentioned. We ranked #1 in the United States. Of course, a big return on investment. As you know, education in general United States is very expensive because of the financial model, not because we're greedy, and not because we want your money, but because universities are funded not by the government. Only 10% of our funds come from government, only 10%. 90% they need to make. How can university make money? Charge tuition. So that's why all universities want a lot of money for their education, otherwise we cannot pay for classrooms, for professors, for electricity, water, and everything like that. So the more expensive is the real estate. For example, New York, 1 year education costs $60,000 to $70,000 just tuition, right? University of Cincinnati, $30,000, less than half of that, because our land is cheaper, our salaries are lower than in New York. Cost of living is lower. So innovation, we are ranked top 80, I believe, by Reuters as the most innovative university. So 20, it's very big in our core. So we've always been designing things. Global University by US News and World Report, we ranked in top 200, and we also very high on research activity. So there is a Carnegie ranking. We are R1, so which is the first category. Those are interesting. Number 5, worldwide most welcoming. That is very interesting. It's by International Student Barometer. So student think that we're very welcoming for international student. I will talk a little bit more about the data, about how big we are, and also talking about innovation. So University of Cincinnati is not MIT, we're not Harvard, we're not Stanford, right? We're not known for like other big names in the United States are. But according to the collected data, actually graduates from our university are more likely to create the unicorn company. So create the startups that will reach $1 billion of valuation. So you can see the propensity is higher than University of Vanderbilt, Columbia, Yale, Stanford. Stanford is only 1.6, Berkeley 1.5, right? And we 3.3, so one of the most likely. We have a special building that's called Innovation Center, Cincinnati Innovation Center, that is part of our university. First floor is a maker's space. So you have a lot of equipment there. Students post on a drawing board. For example, students come from co-op, from internship in hospital. We have nursing students, right, medical students. And they said that we need a device to help our equipment work better at bedside. So they put an ad like we need a mechanical and design engineer and maybe electrical engineer. So students will respond, put their names on there, so the group gets together, they can make a prototype because there are a lot of prototyping machines from different materials. Then they say, well, we also need someone from material science. And then they make that, it works, it's like, okay, maybe it's a good idea for a startup, maybe we should manufacture it, So they go to the second floor, there is a startup support there. So they are being taught how to make a pitch for the company, how the company can operate, how to form it, what are important things to know, legal-wise, how to file a patent, and also to get initial funding, seed funding. So a lot of students create their startups, they have a seed funding, and then the third and the fourth floor are where the companies is. So after you take this to the next stage, you can go to the company, to a bigger company, and get more funding from them. So there are a lot of student entrepreneurship, and that's what shows why we are more likely to produce students who will create big companies, right? How big are we? 1 centimeter square, so we're pretty big size university. And out of them, 40,000 are undergraduate, 12,000 are graduate and professional students. International students, this year I believe there is 7,000, so 7,000学生是外国人，大部分是研究生。So when you come on a dual master degree to the University of Cincinnati, you will not be a minority. Your group of international students will be majority of graduate students. What does it mean? It means that all the services that are for students, for graduate students, all the advisors, they get to know most of the time these graduate students from overseas. So they understand that it's not your home country, that you're missing home, that you might be missing food, that you might be not be in a good mood because you're just homesick, right? So they understand how to deal with that. And there is also more psychological support for students. So you will be with students from India, Vietnam, Germany, France, Spain, Mexico, Chile, so many different countries. So very good international environment. Probably graduate students, 40 or 50% are students from India, especially in engineering. Okay. So we have, as I mentioned, many colleges. So you can see we have nursing and medicine and College Conservatory of Music. College Conservatory of Music, probably 80% of students there is at Taiwan or mainland China. It's very interesting. So a lot of students from who speak Chinese are in that college. Law, allied sciences, pharmacy, arts and sciences, business, of course, and College of Engineering and Applied Science. So I represent College of Engineering and Applied Science. I do global and corporate engagement for the college. So again, that is the college, right? And I will show you a quick video about the college also.
Welcome to the future of innovation at the College of Engineering and Applied Science. Here, faculty inspire the next generation of engineers and computer scientists, guiding them through groundbreaking research and hands-on learning experiments. Our students don't just learn, they thrive. With access to top-notch career opportunities and resources, they're ready to tackle real-world challenges from day one. From artificial intelligence to cybersecurity, our cutting-edge research is shaping the future of technology and driving innovation worldwide. Join us at the forefront of innovation. Discover your potential at the College of Engineering and Applied Science.
It was hard to hear, but pretty much Laura said that from day one you'll be working on real-life problems, and we saw like there was a big hall where students were presenting what's called the capstone project, a graduating project. Students work in a team and groups and they work on that. So, College of Engineering and Applied Science, we have 8 departments. As you can see, we have aerospace, engineering mechanic, that's where there is a lot of similarities with naval engineering. Civil, architectural, and construction management. Interestingly, that civil engineering also has electrical vehicle department unit is in them. Computer science, biomedical engineering, chemical and environmental, electrical computer, and the other one department is education. That is where students study in the first year. So we teach them how to be an engineer in the first year because then they go and work. So we need to make them understand what it means to work like an engineer. And then mechanical and materials engineering. So all of these departments, we signed an agreement on dual master and 3+1+1 program. So all of these departments are open if there is a match in the courses that you took prior to coming to the United States. So first I will talk about the undergraduate to graduate model of cooperation. So when you are in the 3rd year at your university, do we have anybody who is undergraduate or they're all graduate students?
大家都是大学生吗？大三，
Okay. So when you're in the 3rd year, you can apply for this program. You can apply later, but it doesn't make sense to repeat it, of course. So when you come to the United States for your final senior year, you do not earn our degree. You still earn high-dot degree, but you tell us what is left for you to do in the final year. So you talk to your advisor and you say, I want to go study at the University of Cincinnati. What I need to do to graduate here? And they will tell you, oh, you need to take maybe this course, 2 elective courses, and a project. Because usually final year students do a project. So you send it to us, and we will try to match what we have. So we'll send it back to you and show it to your advisor. So if we have a good match and the advisor said, okay, yeah, that's acceptable, then you come over and you start at the final year at UC doing what you need to do here. You might take additional elective courses, and also if you had fulfilled the prerequisites, if you had foundation for that, you can take up to 6 credit hours of graduate courses in the United States. So you already can start working on your graduate program, for example, in the 2nd year. What good does it do if you don't get our degree? Well, first, your English improves dramatically, right? You, in a final senior year, you're a little bit more relaxed. You don't need to work as hard as a graduate student, but you get to know graduate programs. You can take some of the classes already, you meet students, you can go to the labs, you talk to professors, you figure out what it is you want to do as a graduate student, right? And if you do well, if you maintain 3.0 GPA out of 4.0, we will allow you to enter our graduate program without any additional examinations or requirement. So you have like a highway, the graduate program, right? So that is the advantage of that. So 3 years undergrad at your university, 1 year of senior undergrad study at UC, credits transferred back, you earn the Bachelor of Science from your home school, and then 1 more year you can come for Master of Engineering. So we have 2 types of master degree. One is traditional Master of Science, 2 years, 1 year of classes, 30 credit hours, and then research and thesis. We looked also at how can we create a dual degree without you needing to write 2 theses. Because there is no university that will accept 1 thesis counting twice. We do that with academic classes, but not with the writing. And then you also write it in Chinese. Nobody in the University of Cincinnati will understand that. So to avoid you writing a second thesis, we will use another program that we have. It is Master of Engineering. The same academic classes, but instead of doing research and writing a thesis, you just do a project showing that you acquired the knowledge. The project can be done as an internship, and then you write a report, or it can be done in a lab, but it's not research, it's just practical application of your knowledge. So it's a very short lab work, not like full year. So you can do it probably within 2 months, or maybe even a month if you're working really hard. So, and usually it's a professor who will design a project for you. It might be coming from a company, right? So that program only takes 1 year, like Master of Engineering. So the quality of classes is the same as Master of Science or PhD, it's just no research. So that will allow you, if we combine Master of Engineering from our university and Master of Science from your university, then we can allow to count the classes, half classes here, half classes that you see. We transfer credits to each other. And then you only do your thesis and research here. So that allows you to earn a Master of Engineering degree in 1 year if you come after the 3+1+1. Or if you do dual master, even in 1 semester. So why we say +1 or +2? So for example, you come to UC, you did your undergraduate degree, you decided that you want to do, for example, Master of Engineering in AI, right, in artificial intelligence. So you stay 1 more year, you finished your Master of Engineering, and then the professor you worked with said that, you know, you're very bright, I want to offer you either Master of Science or even PhD to work in my lab, and I have funding for you, okay? Because all PhD students are fully funded by the professor and the university. If we cannot offer you funds, we don't accept you as a PhD student. So you go to advisor and you see and say that, you know, I'm in the Master of Engineering 1 year degree, but I have that opportunity. They will just change your track to the PhD track or Master of Science. So it will make it very, very easy. Because again, the classes that you took are the same, and they will allow you to pursue any of the degrees. That's why we say +1 or maybe +3 or maybe even +4 if you work on your PhD. So that program is very flexible, right? It allows you many opportunities. And also once you spend 2 semesters in the United States and get a diploma, Master of Engineering, you can already work in the United States, right? Through OPT, optional practical training. What are the requirements? So you need to have a 3.0 GPA, so you need to be a good student out of 4.0. TOEFL, 80 or higher. Or you can have an equivalent, actually there is a mistake, IELTS 6.0, not 6.5 for this program. Pearson test of English, PTE is 47. We also take Duolingo, so if your Duolingo is 100, I see a lot of students like Duolingo because it's cheaper and you can take it many times. You know, it's much easier to arrange than, let's say, TOEFL. And some students prefer IELTS, they think it's easier. TOEFL allows the best score, so there are personal preferences. We will not require any GRE test or any additional test because we know that your program is very hard. So if you are 3.0 GPA student or higher, we know that you can pass the test, so we rate it for you. So that program is very easy. If you want to come, talk to your international office. What we need to see is your unofficial transcripts for undergraduate, then from your advisor, what it is that we need to take in a final year. Once you find a match for you and the advisor approves, then we can get you in as a visiting scholar, so you come as a visiting student. Or it's almost like an exchange. So you come for 2 semesters. So our semester starts in August by UD, Kaisha, and by end of April, COD, you will finish the year. So it's from late August to late April. So then you can come back home, graduate, you transfer all credits back, you graduate in June, right? No, you BA. And then with bachelor degree, you come back to University of Cincinnati to start your graduate program, MH, without, again, any additional examination. You just apply, our advisor will guide you how to do that. And we guarantee your acceptance. So the second model that also interesting and allows a shorter degree opportunity, if you're interested in that, is a dual master degree. Okay, so双联硕士. And is it 硕士?
学位，对，双联硕士，
双联硕士。 because I keep on forgetting all the info. Okay, so with that program, you receive 2 diplomas. Master of Science from your home university and Master of Engineering from UC. And we designed it so you don't need to spend any extra time. So for example, it takes you 2 years to get your degree here. You can take 2 years and get 2 degrees at the same time. So you can study 1 semester, 2 semesters, or 3 semesters at home university. It does not matter for us. What matters is that you earn at least 15 credit hours that you can transfer, right? So mechanical, electrical, chemical, whatever else you might have, and even again some of the naval engineering might fit well into some of the programs that we offer. And you collect the 15 credit hours, you talk to your international office, they help put together a package of your documents. Undergraduate degree, 3.0 GPA, graduate degree at least 3.0, the higher the better, right? The English test for this, because it's a graduate program, we require a little higher, so it's TOEFL 85 or equivalent. If you apply outside of the agreement, so for example, you are from NTU, we do not have agreement with NTU. We will require 95 TOEFL and we require GRE. So you're already at much bigger advantage because your TOEFL is lower, we determine that 85 or higher will allow you to be successful. So we do programs like that, the dual master with Taiwan already for 7 years with other universities, and we never had a Taiwanese student fail a course. So it tells us that we designed it very well. Actually, all Taiwanese students do very, very well. I had a conversation with, we have about 40 Taiwanese students in our college right now doing this type of program from different universities, and 2 are from your university, from Haidan, right? two students. And we had a lunch 4 weeks ago for Chungjie. You know, so we're sitting together and enjoying food, and I talked to them. I said, first, would you do it again? If you know what you know, if you knew then what you know already, would you do it again? I said, absolutely. I will do that again, I'll come back here. It's not as scary as initially I thought. And the major difficulty was initially, first 3 weeks, months, English. So my advice to everybody who is coming there, even after you get accepted, try to practice your English, okay? And then it gets better. It's psychological also to just open up, don't be afraid and start speaking. So more homework. So it's interesting. Studies are hard, but they're no harder than in Taiwan. But in the American system, there is more homework. So that the English there also helps because you have to do a lot of writing assignments, right? So English helps make it easier. And also if your English is better, then it's easier for you to communicate with other students. But again, remember, most of graduate students are international. So to them, English is not the first language also. So you kind of can feel at ease. Because they all struggle with the same thing. Okay, so combination degree. So again, the benefits of dual degree. So what happens is you have degree from your top-ranked university. You have a degree from top-ranked US university. So for any recruiter for your career, if someone looks and says, okay, at the same time that others earn 1 degree, you earn 2, and you already have cultural competence of operating in another country. So that's already outstanding. You also build a network. You know, you'll build a network global because our students come from all over the world. So you'll build a good global network. And as you know, in life, for the future, it's not that much what you know, it's who you know. When you're working with someone and you get to the company and out of sudden your boss is someone you studied with, you know, or your colleague is someone you studied with, or someone knows someone who studied with you. So that will be helping you to create those bridges in life, right? So it's very important. Coursework, it's much more diverse because of course you have a certain number of classes taught. We have a lot of number of classes taught and we allow you to switch to deviate a little bit. So for example, if you're a mechanical engineer, you can come and continue as a mechanical engineer major, or you can switch into aerospace. We'll look at your background, like yeah, you can switch into, for example, propulsion and some other areas of aerospace engineering, or you can switch into robotics, or industrial systems, or even AI, right? So we will allow you a little wider selection of courses that you probably have at home university, which will be also good for you, like overall professional development and knowledge and understanding, right? And there is a pathway, of course, to the PhD program if you will be interested in that. Okay, so you earn 2 degrees, right? Master of Science from home university, Master of Engineering from UC. Again, Master of Engineering, we talk about it. That's less than 1 year, capstone project, no thesis required, so it makes it easier. Those are our programs. in engineering where we have a dual master degree. So you can later look, I will show you a link where you can go and look at curriculum for each of the program. And you can pre-qualify yourself as like, okay, yeah, I'm, for example, again, as an example, mechanical engineer, and look at this curriculum, I can take this, or I can take that major, or I can take that major. So you will be able to figure out what it is that works for you. And when you apply, we want you to tell us which program of study you want to continue. And you might choose 2 or 3. You know, like I'm interested in AI, robotics, and systems, or maybe sustainable energy. And our program advisor will tell you where your background fits, because they will look at your transcripts and they say, okay, you can take this or that, but not the other one. So then you will choose, like, okay, or maybe they'll tell you, no, you can only continue with your major based on the courses you took. It doesn't allow you to switch, or you need to take some additional classes, right? So you will receive that notification information. You can communicate with our advisor. Okay. So admission requirements: Bachelor 3.0 higher. If you have a lower bachelor, we understand that grading in Taiwan for undergraduate degrees sometimes very strict. And also some of you in the first or second year were here during the pandemic. We understand that everybody was a little bit depressed, things were disrupted, it was new for everyone, like you see at home, there was a lot of fear. So you might not do very well, especially online in classes. So let's say your undergraduate GPA is 2.7 or 2.8. So if your graduate is very good, high, and then you have a letter of support from your university, we will consider it. If it's a little below 3.0, but if it's too much below 3.0, we cannot do it, unfortunately, because we have a big, let's say, competition that's coming from Vietnam and India and other schools. So we have students that have 4.0 GPA, 100 TOEFL, and we take you because we have agreement. But if it's too low, I cannot go to program director and say that, no, reject that good student and take student who doesn't have good grades. It's very hard for me to do. So again, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, with a letter of support from your university and good grades as a graduate, you can do that. But your graduate GPA should be very good, very stellar, right? Again, TOEFL 85, we have 6.5, TPE, test of English 59, or Duolingo 110, right? And no GRE. So how does it work? This graph is kind of hard to understand. Let me see if I can explain it a little better. So right now it's spring, right? So you're earning your Master of Science at your home university. So now it's spring semester. So your previous semester, this semester combined, you're earning 15 credit hours. You will finishing in June, right? Finishing the semester, you're applying now before the end of March. Then in June, in July, early August, you have no classes, but you're already accepted to UC, you're planning to come here. So in fall, again, in August, mid-August, you arrive to University of Cincinnati, and you can finish your degree in just one semester, because you earn 15 here, and you just need to earn 15 credit hours in UC. So you do 4门课, 4 classes. 每一门课是4个学分, right? So 3个学分, so 4乘3 12. So you earn 12, and then you do 3 credit hours of capstone project in the lab at the same time as you take classes. So you take 4 classes and a lab project. Lab project will be given to you by the professor, right? So you'll be very busy. 15 credit hours in one semester, it's busy. You will not be traveling to Florida, California, Grand Canyon, New York. You will not party every day, maybe on the weekends, So, but if you want fast degree, just one semester, for example, you need to go to military service, right? So you need to return. That is an option in one semester. So you'll start in August, you'll finish by mid-December, and you'll come back. So 8月中开始，12月中结束，回到台湾就完了。So you earn your degree. Okay, so that's easy. Most students from Taiwan choose 2 semester options. So it's the same, you earn your 15 credits here, then you come and you only do classes in fall. You only take 12 credit hours of classes. You don't do the capstone project. Instead, you're looking for the job to do capstone project as internship. And we have a person who helps you to prepare your resume and who point you to all our websites where we have posted jobs. We have a lot of job fairs. So again, 75% of international graduate students find an internship. So very high percentage. So 75%学生找到那个实验。So then in spring semester, instead of going back home, you work in a company. You don't come to university, still considered to be full-time student, but the visa will allow you to work because in our case, the capstone project is part of our curriculum. Other universities will not be able to offer you that. They will say that you need to have 2 semesters and you need to graduate. Only then you can work. So our university is unique. So American government allows you to work because it's part of our curriculum. Right? So you work. You might be working in California or Arizona. You might be working in TSMC plant in Arizona, right? And as you work, you'll be making on average13000到15000美金一个学期. Okay, that's an average salary that you will make. So pretty much close to $4,000 or $5,000 a month. That will be your average salary as an intern. Some students will make even higher. So, and then you will submit a written report and you will graduate. So instead of graduating in December, you will graduate in April, right? April, early May. So it will take you 10 months to finish the degree. So that is option that students like. So for the dual master degree, we have 2 intakes. You can start studying in fall or you can start studying in spring. So 8月中你可以开始学习，或者1月初你可以开始学习。So we have 2 intakes for graduate program. So the next one is the same, but just changes the timing. So you study now, you will start in fall, or if you, for example, now undergraduate student, you start your graduate program in September. Right? So if you earn 15 credit hours through that fall, you already can come to University of Cincinnati in spring, right? Or in summer. And then that is the other way around. Okay, so again, 2 semester or 1 semester option. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, good. Good to know. Okay. Yeah, good to know. Thank you. So again, capstone project, I explain again. So there are 3 ways to do the capstone project. Pathway A, you complete it as you study at the same time. So 那个是第一个学期的办法。OK， 你学习和在做那个项目。Pathway B, you do it as an internship. So 那个是2个学期的 option. But then let's say you did not do project when you were studying, and you interviewed, you had 20, 30, 40 interviews, and you don't get a job offer. What do? So we will allow you either to stay at UC and do a project, but we don't recommend it because you still have to pay fee and you're not making salary. Because for project in a lab, nobody will pay you salary. So we say, do the pathway C. You return back here. You do the project in a lab here, or you do internship here, and once you fulfill it, you will send us a report. And then you say, okay, we accept the report, apply for graduation. You apply for graduation online, and once you graduate online, we will send you your diploma. So if you don't find an internship, don't be fearful. You still can do it here, and as soon as you finish it, you send us a report, and we'll make it happen for you. So we'll make it easy. And of course, at any point of time, if you want to continue PhD, research, or Master of Science, you can switch as well. So a little bit more explanation about that pathway B internship. We will be doing it as CPT, Curriculum Practical Training. That's what the US government calls it. So you will be working for the company. You will register for a minimum of 10 credit hours if you work outside, because that is a visa requirement. You need to be a full-time student, so you'll register for 10 credit hours and you'll be doing internship as a capstone project. And then if you do it as a project in a lab, you'll register for 3 credit hours only. So it's not that you work more, it's just to satisfy visa needs, okay? So you are responsible to find it, but we'll give you a lot of help, right? And we'll help you to write your resume, we'll conduct mock interview with you, pretending that we're an employer and ask you all the tricky questions. So, and you'll become good. Once you do a few interviews, you'll become really good at that. And it's also a good experience to have, you know, so you overcome the initial fear, because first time it's scary, you know. But then after 10 or 20, that's not scary anymore. You already start asking them questions to see if the company is good for you, right? Then some of the companies might offer you a job after. So if you do 2 semesters and you graduate and receive American diploma, you can do OPT, which is called Optional Practical Training. That allows you to work in the US up to 3 years without need for the work visa. So let's say you did with the same TSMC your internship, and they really like you because you're Taiwanese, you speak obviously Chinese, and you're getting 2 degrees, and you speak English, and you understand American mentality, so they want to retain you. They don't need to apply for your H-1B visa, work permit, because it's very difficult. they would like that you are on OPT. So up to 3 years you can work in the United States without needing any special permission or visas. You're legal to do that. So you might work a year or two there and then transfer to the operations in Germany or India or back to Taiwan. But you already come like someone who has a lot of experience and understanding global culture, right? With a higher commanding salary. So you'll be head and shoulder above everybody else. So that is interesting about it. Okay, so there is a little bit more explanation about CPT and OPT, what it is. So first you apply for OPT for 12 months and you extend it each year. So up to 3 years. And CPT does not take away OPT opportunities. Some students ask, if I do CPT, does it reduce OPT? No. But the CPT cannot exceed 1 year. So that is the deadline. So right now to apply for fall, who are now graduate students, you need to prepare your documents right now and give it before, ideally mid-March, so you have maybe a couple of weeks left. And definitely before the end of March, right? So we need the documents that I mentioned already, and that is a deadline to apply for spring. So we actually have a rolling application, so even if you want to come in spring, you can start applying now. The most important is that you're a good student and that you meet the English requirement. If we require 85 and you're 82, that's not going to work, unfortunately. So you have to meet 85. So English is very strict, okay? Application process. So work with your international office. We need to know your name, your undergraduate degree, which program for graduate studies you requested. As I mentioned, look at the programs and see which one you want to do. Verification of English proficiency and the transcripts of undergraduate and graduate. Unofficial transcripts are okay. We trust you because if you submit the fake transcripts, you will not be able to study anyway, so it's very easy. So our program directors will review that. They will send you an email saying, go ahead and apply. In the next slide, you will see the link. Then you upload your documents and start official application. You'll pay $80 application fee with credit card. We don't want you to apply first without doing that process because you're not flagged in the system. System will reject you because you have not high enough TOEFL, or like 95, and you don't have GRE. So system will automatically reject you. So that's why it's good if you review first and say you're okay, you flag you in a system special way, so when you apply you go through. Because what we offer for you is kind of like a backdoor, to avoid the competition with the system.
Or additional pathway.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Yeah, additional pathway. It's easy, like you already counted. Right? That's not open for other students. And then you receive an offer letter probably within 10 days after you apply online. You'll respond to that offer letter. Do you accept it or reject? You might change your mind and say, you know what, I cannot come, or I have military service. If you have military service, you can defer. Okay, you can defer up to 1 year. So if you get accepted, don't just throw it away. If something else came up, you can defer your coming to UC for 1 year, but just communicate to our advisor saying that I was planning to come in fall, but I need to do military service, or something happened in the family. I have to stay there. Can I come next fall, or can I come in spring, right? So just communicate. We'll again try to accommodate you. So then, once you accept the offer, the visa process starts automatically. You'll receive email from our international office about the steps you need to do to receive your visa. So again, there is in more details application, the review, list of eligible application approval, and things like that. So F1 and I-20 visa information. What is the difference between I-20 and F1? You can read it here. The most important question is 多少钱? So, as I mentioned, cost of the semester at the University of Cincinnati is much lower than in any coastal university of Chicago or New York, simply because cost of living is lower and cost of real estate is lower. So we charge $15,200 per semester. It's still a lot of money for some who come from Taiwan. And for European students as well, because in Europe education is almost free, government sponsors that. So it's 1,500. We give you automatic scholarship. You don't need to do anything. It'll just get deducted from your account, right? So 4,200. So you need to pay 1,100, okay, for the first semester. So if you want fast degree, if you want just degree in 1 semester, that's all that you will pay. 1,100 to get US Master of Engineering degree. Cost of living, we estimate that approximately 1个学期 will cost you 5,000到6,000块钱美金，来包括你住的、吃的、用的那个东西。But that is based on shared room, shared housing with someone, and being somewhat modest. We have some students coming from mainland China, from Shanghai, Lahore. They have a luxurious apartment by themselves with a view to the river, and they drive Ferraris or Lamborghinis. Their cost of living is much higher, right? So of course, but that is not related on just average student living. We do not offer dorms because they're expensive. In US everything is business, so dorms are also profit centers, so they're like hotels. But there are also a lot of limitations, usually first-year students. And plus, remember we had we cannot offer dorms for everyone. And we're very urban university, like Beikuda, it's in the center of the city. So we do not have much space. So we have some dorms, but usually students prefer to choose rent place together. Several students from Taiwan rent together. We have a Taiwanese student association that someone established. I think student from Fujian University started it maybe 5 years ago. So it's pretty active. You can find them on Facebook and contact them and ask for a suggestion where to rent, what to do, and maybe ask other students also who are in UC. If you look online, you can find them. So if you stay for the second semester and you do the capstone project as an internship, the fee that you pay is the same, but because you don't come to campus, we offer you a much bigger scholarship. Okay? We have to charge you a fee to maintain your full-time student status, and because you register for 10 credit hours. We cannot give you credit hours unless you pay tuition. That is the rule of how it works, unfortunately. So we'll give you 差不多11000美金助学金 automatically. So you only have to pay $4,500. But as you work, you earn probably $15,000. So you pay that, you still have yuan left in your pocket, right? And you might be working anywhere in the United States. It doesn't matter, right? So second semester is free, and in a way you kind of pay yourself back from the first semester. So a lot of students choose that option because it gives them opportunity to make money. And again, if you don't find a job, you can leave, do project here, we'll mail you the diploma, right? So we don't want you to spend more money. Okay. Additionally, for Taiwanese students, there is available Lu Chen scholarship. It started 3.5 years ago. Robert Chen, he's a graduate from Cincinnati Dashi. He lives in Seattle now, and he invented that little razor scooter. So he made a lot of money. He was young once, like you, and went study in the United States and started the company. So he wants to give back. So he gave us 150万美金 for 5 years, 每一年30万美金 to give all Taiwanese students, not only from his alma mater, not from Minju, but from any who come to University of Cincinnati in engineering to study, to support them. So the first year we gave 15,000, 15000 第一个学期，第二个学期因为 students 工作嘛就不需要了。So we support students for the first semester, and last year we gave because there were more applicants, so we have to divide 30万 to more students for each year. So we gave 9,000, 9000块钱。So student need to pay 11000，我们给他9000，那就2000块钱就拿美国的那个硕士。That's no deal like that. It's too good to be true. Yeah, unbelievable. So we don't know how much money. We cannot guarantee that it will be 9 or 8. So depending on number of students, maybe you'll receive more than 9, maybe it will be less than, but you'll receive a few $1,000s, that's for sure, for the first semester. That application you need to fill, and you can only start doing it once you accept it. You receive a UC number and UC email, because without that you cannot apply. It will require no UC email, sorry, come next time. You don't win this time. So we will inform you probably before the semester beginning, because there is a committee who reviews. We will ask you also to write in application with a short paragraph. Why do you think you need that scholarship? Because we have some students who come from very well-to-do families, and they say like, well, it might help, but I don't really need that. They're honest, so it's good, because they're well-to-do. And some students feel that if I don't receive it, I cannot come. My family cannot support me. I cannot even visit. So we try to give those students a little bit more money, make them a priority. So unfortunately, the scholarship only has less than 2 years left. So, fall, spring, and next fall. And then we're running out of money. We're talking with Robert Chen to do another 5 years, but we don't know if he will be that generous again or not. So I can only guarantee you this coming fall, next spring, and the following fall, and then we're out, right? So, but right now it's an opportunity. So those are actually students that were at UC. So you see graduation, again, you submit the graduation online. That you can scan that QR code and do it when you're already here in Taiwan. If you do the project here, the housing option, you can look at what we offer. There are several opportunities to look online, but if you Google it, you'll find like living in student that you see, you'll find a lot of blogs of students, potential students, parents. Say, oh my gosh, it's expensive. Oh, it's hard to find a housing, especially right the closer you get to application time, you know, in fall, because again, 5万的学生都找住在那里。Okay, research facilities. The degree is non-research, but of course we have a lot of research facilities. We have rank higher research. We have more than 120 engineering labs. Those are the people you'll be working with, especially the woman in the center, Julie Stemley. When you'll be applying, you'll be working with her. If there are any issues with uploading your documents, any questions about what program you qualify or not, you'll be dealing with her. And Amanda, you will like her because she's the one who will help you with this job. She's director of career development, so she'll be pointing you, she will do the interview with you, like mock interview, pretend that she's a big boss. So she's very good. There's additional information here about UC, about College of Engineering and Applied Science, some YouTube videos, the student services, which services you can rely on as an international student or as a UC student. And then that is a degree program. So can you get that click online and see if it opens up? That's the last one, the degree. So when you open, only look at MH degrees, and I will show you how to see what programs of study, what is the curriculum there. So there's a graduate program. So if you scroll down, keep scrolling down. So let's say, let's go to the very bottom, for example. Let's go to artificial intelligence, cross-disciplinary math. Yeah, right. A little lower. Yeah, this is so artificial intelligence. So for example, you are in electrical, computer science, or mechanical. Like, I want to take that. Can I take? So scroll down till you see curriculum. See, there is a over here. Yeah, curriculum. And the first one. Oh, no, the second one. Sorry, Intel MH 21. So you open that and you see that okay, there is the courses, the core courses about analysis, software testing. Then the other one like fuzzy control, soft computing, introduction to applied intelligence, machine learning. Okay, so you can determine if you can take, if you have background to take these courses, right? And if you're in question, you can email Julie and say, you know, with my background, with those courses that I took, can I take that? And then the capstone project, right? So every program can be opened like that, so you can see what's available, what courses, because in each of the major there is an option to elect, and you can take, I believe, select one course from the list of courses, and then take 4 or more courses from the electives, right? So 1 core and 4 electives. That makes the full degree, but you already earned half here, so you don't need to take everything, right? You only need to take 4 courses. So you one of the core, and maybe you already took similar to the course, so then you only need to take one of the elective courses. So that's all I have for this program, and then I quickly show we have a minute about ESOP, about aerospace. So we can exit this, yeah, exit this and go back to the,
aerospace.
Yeah, if you exit the presentation, because we need to go back to the folder. No, the folder. The USB. So, this one. Okay. So it's kind of hard to see what it is in there, what programs are there listed. Yeah. So we have a good partner, like you, but a little bit longer partner, longer time, and a little bit probably more developed partnership. It's University of Bordeaux in France, in the coastal area like you are. They have a very strong area in aerospace maintenance. It's called MRO, maintenance, repair, and overhaul. So they deal with engines and systems, electrical system, navigation systems, things like that. So we developed with them a dual master degree. If you are a bachelor student and you're graduating this summer in June, you need to apply now and tell us, I'm interested in that program. In fall, you will go to University of Bordeaux and you will take classes that are in blue, okay, in avionics and everything. You don't need to be aerospace engineer. You can be mechanical, electrical or naval engineering. So you'll spend from September through December in Bordeaux. You don't need to speak French. All the courses are in English. They have a full hangar of planes and I think they have 6 planes and a helicopter, and they work on all this, surrounded by companies like Dassault, Safran, Airbus, like a lot of big French and European companies are there. Then, from January through April, you are at the University of Cincinnati, and you're taking classes in REP, right, second semester. So again, you take the project task management, you learn about quality control, Six Sigma, leadership, effectiveness of technical organization, design thinking, and then you take choose 2 of the specialty courses, any of those, depending on what your background is. If you're more on electrical, then you might take more electrical related or robotics. If you are more mechanical, you might be taking like additive manufacturing or rotor dynamics, things like that. So again, there are a lot of similarities between the engines and for propulsion, for aerospace and the vessels, ships. So then after April, you will do internship. And you can do internship anywhere in the world, maybe in France, maybe in US, or maybe back in Taiwan here. And then you graduate in August. So start in September, you graduate in August, so 3 years. And you'll get 2 diplomas. First, you'll be in 2 countries, in France and the United States. And you'll get, I think I lost my battery. So you will earn 2 diplomas. So you'll earn Master of Engineering from the University of Cincinnati and International Diploma from Bordeaux. So if you can go back, I'll show just a quick video. So I'll show a quick video, just 2 minutes, about the program. Yeah, the video is right about it. Yeah, this one. So this is actual what's in the hangar. I don't know, there's no sound. Yeah, because that was not video from
century. Air transportation has made the world a smaller place. Today, millions of people use this.
So let's say that aerospace transportation is increasing, especially in
and safe. Advanced manufacturing and advanced manufacturing are driving today's aviation technology, and in the next 15 years, aviation trends point to a doubling of the number of aircraft used globally.
The number of aircraft comes to serve longer time, because as you know, Airbus and Boeing are all never back home.
Immensely prevalent in today's market. These changing times.
So this is actual classrooms in Bordeaux.
And research solutions.
So you will not be a mechanic. And that is a University of Cincinnati campus.
University of Bordeaux in France. They are prepared to meet this challenge with a unique international education and
So
research
that's, you
program.
see?
System operations.
So it's ASO, Air System Operation Management. And that is life cycle management of owning an aircraft.
From the University of Bordeaux. The University of Cincinnati is one of America's top 30 public research institutions. Its aerospace engineering program is the second oldest in the U.S. and provides cutting-edge research to ASOP's education modules. The University of Bordeaux is a multidisciplinary, research-focused international institution. Its program, IMA, offers a range of training and lifecycle management for the industrial sectors of aviation and transportation. ASOP students can currently pursue UC's Master of Engineering degree and the University of Bordeaux's International Diploma. The program offers a practice-oriented, individualized degree.
So you will understand the mechanics of maintaining a plane, but you will not be a mechanic. You will manage owning a fleet of aircraft. So that's actual class.
And receives ongoing input from the External Industrial Advisory Committee. In today's competitive technological environment, top opportunities are going to those prepared for tomorrow. The ASOP curriculum provides advanced training, access to the newest technology, and application knowledge to give an unparalleled advantage in the competitive and growing employment field. So ASOP, why smarter?
So again, no aerospace background, mechanical, electrical, and naval engineering. Less than 1 year, 11 months, 2 countries, 2 diplomas, immediate employment. So the program started right before the pandemic, five years ago. The cost is $8,000 at each country. So we discounted because it's still a new program. So it's total 16, 1,600. Okay, 每个，而且你在预习的时候 if the Lucian scholarship is there, you still can ask for Lucian scholarship. You might get maybe $1,000 to $2,000. So again, it's very inexpensive for 1 year to pay 1,600. The jobs are immediate. Everybody is ready to get instant job. with aircrafts, with airline. You know, for example, like global airline like Delta or United or KLM or French airline, Air France. Probably in Taiwan, who will hire you is EVA or Starlux or China Airline or military, because they also have a bunch of fleet that they need to operate. Or the private operators of the smaller fleet, right, of aircrafts. So you probably can use that degree also to look into job of those who operate a lot of vessels, a fleet of vessels, right? The same as the company that oversees you, the Evergreen, right? Because I'm pretty sure that you can, what you will learn here can be applied to management of the fleet as well. So very interesting degree, very inexpensive compared to what the job you receive. So you can consider that, you know. Especially with Bordeaux, it's very interesting because food is much better than in Cincinnati. We don't have bad food, and we have a lot of Asian restaurants. There are a lot of Asians in Cincinnati, big Taiwanese association, and there are even a few Taiwanese restaurants. They're not as good as in Taiwan, of course. I will be lying if I say it's not true. I come to Taiwan to eat, of course. But you will survive, and you will learn to cook better also, you know, and you will learn other different things, and you actually will appreciate what you have at home much more. So, I say our students the same. I tell my students, go away. So I'll tell you the same, go away, right? And come back and be the true leader for yourself, for your family, and for your country. Yeah. So any questions?